It's 11 o'clock, so we'll get started. First of all, thank you. Hi, Yvonne. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. And I want to let you know that Sam is all back to normal, his normal. They haven't really said, but I think if you have a TIA, I don't think that shows up on an MRI, they said. So we're thinking he probably had a little TIA. It was Tuesday night, and I was just walking in to get ready for bed, and he said, I don't feel good. And then he started, I asked what was wrong, and he was kind of slurring his words a little bit, and he could hardly walk. And so I immediately called our son, Dan, and he came over, and we took him to emergency. And they checked him all over, and of course, when there is a possibility of a stroke, they always, they want to know how soon, and if it was 30 minutes. Yes, it was 30 minutes. So anyway, they kept him in overnight, did a CT, an echocardiogram on his heart, an MRI, and then we'll have to end up going to a neurologist. I don't know. We don't know, really. We didn't get a report on the MRI when the doctor came in Wednesday morning. The MRI wasn't back to him yet, so we really don't know. But he's back to his normal, which is, he's 90 years old, so what do you say? But anyway, he's clear and not slurring words and able to walk a short distance. And so anyway, we're relieved. But it could have been a TIA. And I talked to our neighbor who is a radiologist, and she said that TIAs don't show up in the brain. So, pretty sure. Anyway, back to normal. So I'm glad I could be here today and share this card, because I was really anxious and I had it all ready. But of course I was at the hospital. So anyway, this is the card that we're doing today. It's called Block Shadowing. And can you see the scene that's in here? This is the Thoughtful Journey paper, which, by the way, is on the last chance list. So, and it's marked down. So if you don't have this, you might want to get some before it's gone, because it's gorgeous paper. And I didn't realize until afterwards that I put these pearls of beauty, the white pearls of beauty, and almost looks like a pearls of beauty. It almost looks like a moon there. I didn't even know that until after I got it on there. And so anyway, I'm going to show you how to do this. It's really easy, very quick, and it's a great card. Great way to use up small pieces, which I always have so many of those. I end up throwing them all away, which I shouldn't, but I do. So this is the card that we're going to make today, and I will show you the process. First of all, for the measurements, I'm using Mossy Meadow for the background, cut 11 inches by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. So that is the card base. And then we're going to need a piece of basic white, 5 1/4 by 4, actually 2 for the inside. I do have another piece here. So basic white, 5 1/4 by 4. And then we're going to be using the Thoughtful Journey. And what you need is a piece that is 4 inches by 3 inches. So, Thoughtful Journey, 4 inches by 3 inches. And on this one, I have already cut it, but I wanted to show you what the paper was like. And I cut it 3 inches by 4 inches, and I actually could use this other part to make another card just like it, because it's just so gorgeous. So I have a piece that is 3 inches by 4 inches. So I'm going to start with cutting that and using my trimmer, and I'm going to cut this at 1 inch. So I'm going to, this 3 inch by 4 inches, I'm going to make 3 cuts, and I'm cutting it at 1 inch. And the main thing, if you have scenic paper that you're using, is to, of course, keep them in order, so that when you get it done, then the scene shows through. So 3 inches, 4 pieces that are 1 by 3, and then we're going to take each one of these and cut them again at 1 inch. So we're going to have 12 12 pieces. Now I'm going to take these off and put them over here in order so I don't have to figure out the puzzle. So I'm just putting them in order. That's the first row, and then the second row, and again I'm cutting them at 1 inch. This is a 3 by 1 inch, and I'm cutting each piece into 3 1 inch by 1 inch pieces. And then this is the third one. And then the fourth one. So I'm keeping them in order to my right. And then the next step is you would need to cut a 3 inch by 4 inch piece of the Mossy Meadow, which is what I'm using for the card base, but I'm also going to use for the background. And I've already done that because you didn't need to see me cut those out. So I have 12 pieces of 1 inch by 1 inch Mossy Meadow. So now I'm going to start, and I'm going to use my silicone craft sheet. And I'm going to start by putting, so I'm going to put them just like this. So I'll lift that up so you can see it. So I'm going to put them like this, and I will put some a seal on it so that there is a shadow on this side and this side. And you want to do all of them, all 12 pieces the same. You want a little bit of a shadow on each piece. So just like that. Now all the pieces, you're going to want the Mossy Meadow on this side and that bottom part. Now we'll take another one. This is the hard part. I wish I could fast forward, but I can't because I want to show you everything. So that goes there, and we're going to do the same on this piece, and all 12 of them. And I'm keeping them in order so that I don't lose that order. That would look a little bit odd if I had it out of order. But if you don't have a piece of a scenic paper, you can use anything. Or if you would prefer to use something else, I have some samples to show you that aren't scenic. And come on. Let's try this one. Maybe it'll work better. There we go. I never have that problem unless I'm on a video. Yeah, we're very happy that Sam is better. Of course, the kids were supporting us all through this, and that's why we're here in Pendleton, for their support, and they are so good to us. And that goes there, and we're almost got these done. Come on. This paper is beautiful, and I'm going to show you some new paper that is coming in the new catalog. And by the way, I have sent you all catalogs, so if you get it, and would you let me know so I know that they're coming? They should be here probably either the third or fourth week of April. I think third is next. And the third week is next, and then the fourth week. So you should have it by the time the catalog goes live on May 5th. And one more. Okay. So those all done. Okay, there's all the 12, and if you put them back together, you can see the scene. I'll move this. And now we are going to place these on the basic white. So I'm going to do them in order just to show you, and then I'll adhere them all. So this is the way they go. It's a lot of little pieces, but they're gorgeous. Oops, almost got that. I think that was the center one, and this is the left, and this is the right. So that's how we're going to put them on. So I'm going to start by doing the first row. So I'm going to put these over here in order so I don't get them mixed up, because I'm good at that. So we'll start by putting the top row in, and then we can build down from there. So if I put that right there, and then this one, and then this one. Oh, really? Wow, Yvonne, I am shocked. I am happy. I'm glad. Oh, wow. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, now we're going to go down. So I'm adding, I could add the Tombow, but you know me and Tombow, just make such a mess. So that one will go there. And then we're going to do, don't need a lot of adhesive on this. Do that one there. And then this one goes here. And then we'll do the center row. And now you can line them up both here and below. And then the next goes here. And then this one goes here. Just two more. Make sure I get that right. I think I don't have it right, so I had it upside down. And then this one will go here. So now if you can see it, you can see that it's all in order. There's the trees and then the bushes down here. And then we're gonna put that on the Mossy Meadow card base. Fumble fingers. And I'm gonna add another idea, and I'll tell you about this when I show you my other ones. Another idea somebody had was to run this through in an embossing folder and give it some real dimension. And then I have Thank You, and this is from Lovely Arrangements stamp set. And I like this Thank You because it's bold and big. And so I'm going to put that right between here. There. And then I have a little piece of baker's twine. I thought that would look good on it. And so I'm just putting a glue dot, mini glue dot, and I'll put that right there. And then I will put the Pearls of Beauty, the white Pearls of Beauty. And like I said, it looks like the moon. That's kind of cool. Kind of up in the corner, and then maybe one here and one over here. So, and then in the side we have a we'll put some white inside. Yvonne, I just use you could use a ruler, but I just use my eye, and like I say, I started on the top. And then I could line them all up, you know, pretty evenly. So I could have gotten them down just a little bit more, but it's okay now. So there it is. I think it's just absolutely, and you can see the dimension in it. You can see the shadow effect. You know, it's almost like an optical illusion, but it's cool. So here are the other cards I made. This one is using new paper that's coming out on May 5th, and it's called Scenic Coast. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I think that is so beautiful. It's got all these scenes with gold through them, and I think that's just beautiful. I use Secret Sea on this one with Secret Sea as the background for the pieces. So that's one. Now here's a different one, and this one is using, instead of 1-inch squares, this is using 1.5-inch squares. And actually the paper, the basic white, is 5 1/2, which is the full length, and then 3 3/4. Isn't that pretty? And that's using the Homemade Sweetness Designer Series paper. And you can see I did 3 flowered ones and 3 gingham ones, and put some of the little strawberries in. This is the sentiment piece that's in the dies in that Homemade Sweetness, or Filled with Sweetness is what the stamp set is. So it's You're the Sweetest. So that's one. And then I used the Cute as a Bug Designer Series paper, and these have the this piece is in there, and then the red gingham, and I think that turned out beautiful too. And then this one is called Splash of Sparkles, so you don't have to use a scene. This is just paper, and I use the shadow is the Highland Heather, which is part of that paper. So I just think these are so cool. And I kind of ran out of time, or I would have made more, but with being distracted this week, I didn't get any more made, but I want to, because I have so much paper and so much beautiful paper. So those are the cards, and thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Yvonne. And I use, you said, how do I line them up? Well, you could put like a ruler, and then, you know, make and butt them up to the ruler. That would work. And but I just did it, kind of hide it. And I thought they turned out, you know, if there's any little mistakes, you don't see them because you're looking at the view, the scene. So there's a lot of really, the larger ones are 1.5 by 1.5. So you would need 6 instead of 12. You would need 6 squares, 1.5 by 1.5. And I will put all the measurements. I'll even put the measurements of this one below the video. And then I will put this on my blog. And I know some of you do go to my blog. It's Jan's Stamping Creations. If you just search Jan's Stamping Creations, all one word, you'll find it. Or it's janstampingcreations.com. Thank you, Lori. And I will have this up this afternoon on my blog. And I always transfer this video, this Facebook Live. I transfer, thank you, Yvonne. I transfer it to YouTube, so you can always, again, go to Jan's Stamping Creations on YouTube. And all of my Facebook lives are on there because they only keep them on the Facebook page for 30 days. So if you're ever wanting to look back, you can always go and see all my, look up me on YouTube, and my Facebook Lives are always on YouTube. So I hope you all have a fantastic Friday, and we will see you all else working. We will see you next Wednesday. Thanks, and have a great weekend.